And welcome back to the Rocknrollsailor Journal. We're in Amsterdam. You can see the restored windmill spinning the wheel of time. And we're on the way to Fiery Tongues Poetry Festival in RUIGOORD. And here we are at the entry of RUIGOORD. It's a small village that was squatted by artists in the 60s and now evolved into a totally legal art village where we'll have an international poetry festival going on this weekend.
Rocknrollsailor.
Afternoon. So hi, I'm Rocknrollsailor. I'm basically a bit of a space pirate, and I've been publishing some books which are like quite psychedelic. So I'm just going to read you pieces of each of them. I just got the fourth one in yesterday, which is like a rush and a half. So I'm going to start with a piece from the first one. It's called Story of Both. And it's basically a mix-up travel boating story with a lot of psychedelics and social critique into it. And it's written stream of consciousness, so it's just one ride going through. Cities are whores. They're rising and crumbling buildings like ever-shedded skin cells. It's flags like halter tops and flimsy thongs. It's workers in bars and restaurants like nipples oozing out the manna of hometown milk. It's homeless like lonely pubic hairs forever cast out to the fringe of the honey pit, the dispensary of fine nectar, the crutch of all crutches. It's bank and real estate developers like the chunky and firm buttocks, the attractive hiding cove to the brown hole of ass, the sewer of unholy death, of all life consumed in its brick-lined stomach, its concrete guts, broken up by the gall and bile of administrations, regulations, and premeditated annihilations. Its streets and subway lines like arteries, sinews, and nerves shot through with blood cells, parasites, neurons and reflexes, diseases and sugar, oxygen, nitrogen, and all sorts of genes, all thinking they're people, leading separate yet somehow intrinsically interlinked lives. It's neons and billboards and public information signs like the boudoir decor, leading your furtive gaze to the thinly veiled hole of holes, the hardly hidden hope of hard-ons, the moist and shiny cavern of the fountain of youth saying, come in, come here. Disrobe, dismantle yourself, your honesty, your life. Give me your fortune while you seek to take mine. Give me your pleasure while you long to share mine. Give me your come, your livelihood, your essence as you seek shelter within me. And behold, at the entrance of bliss, the cruel hand of law and order, tradition and normality, of reap and reward and punish foremost the lazy, the wondrous and bewildered, the believers in luck and unbelievers of mediatized, pre-chewed reality. That cruel hand forever rubbing the city's clit to keep it lusty and looking young, spreading a crazing perfume, pervading its whole with a sense of home, of hope, of an orgastic everlasting tomorrow. And as a trembling stiff dickhead ready to launch yourself upstream, ready to come and die like a motherfucking salmon, that ever-masturbating hand of common decency grabs you by the balls, plucks you off the ground, and leads you to reception, the head office, the glaring inspections of CCTV, fingerprints and passports, and throws you wailingly head first into the vagina dentata, the gaping, ever-hungry mouth of the city. Its molars grinding your bones to factory worker size, your minds to desk clerk bits, your dick to liverwurst, your arse a bosses and landlords fuckhole, your tears to loop for the next contract signed in blood written in shit, as the screaming, laughing, self-fulfilling whore of whores, city of cities, narcissistically writes Shiva's marble dick into oblivion. All praise the gods for human intelligence, without which this whole charade would not exist. and we'd find ourselves merely happily haphazardly surviving on the face of a living, ever-evolving planet, divine in its nature. Our questing nature in tune with the ups and downs of the waves, moon and sun. Our hair and minds waving with the winds. Our breaths and aspirations like a singing breeze not unlike that of chittering birds and growling beasts. Lustful and loving and discovering in defiance of death and its myriad diseases. Thank you. That was from the first book called The Story of Both. Oh, Alfred, you're right in front of my camera, sweetheart. Thanks. Lovely to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Lovely to have you here. So this is a piece from the second book. It's called Green Steam. It's basically an essay on the human genius. Where does this eruption of people keep coming from? Who threw in the can of worms? Is it maybe so that everything we kill reincarnates in human form? Is it just that since fingerprints kicked off forensic science and Tesla gave us streetlights, that we can't get away with killing each other on a regular basis anymore? Are too many kids surviving the first 5 years of life, which 100 years ago was a chance in 4? Is it just that lazy consumerism and couch hugging prolongs existence to the point where boredom is the leading cause of death? Where do all these bipeds keep coming from, and why does quality not improve with quantity? Why do we uphold stupidity as the largest common denominator and therefore a viable baseline to tune our social structures, our product lines and marketing strategies, our politics and factory slave jobs to? And why do we kneel at the altar of the greatest, absurdist, incongruent fiction of all, normality? It's non-existent, absolutely non-existent. Bogus, hokum, nonsense, self-contradictory. And why? Because everybody has their own version, their personal interpretation, their climatic, religious, linguistic, cultural, professional, sexual, stuck-in-a-rut version of the term normal. And yet is most commonly used to sway masses into restrictions, cattle runs, mass media twists, and social, professional, and political shenanigans, to cripple the different and mute the opinionated, to discredit the curious and anomalize the searchers of new truths, to make people afraid of non-conformity, the old nomad in the new city, the individual in the crowd. It makes people ultimately afraid of themselves. For every reaction gets weighed on scales of social acceptance with arbitrary normal as a tipping point, pre-bred in petri dishes of hypocrisy and self-containment, and the energy flow is detoured, slowed, filtered, congested, congealed and blocked. Hooray heart disease, welcome brain hemorrhages, hello nervous collapse, burn baby, burn out. Welcome to a flatline life that is ultimately to die from, not for. And I don't get it. I just don't. Such base hurt behavior. I thought maybe after World War II, let 60 million dead after marching to the battlefield or letting themselves be marched off to concentration camps, that maybe, just fucking maybe, people wouldn't fall for mass normality and herdisms anymore. But hey, apparently herdism allows for another contradiction that twists the Mobius ring of group behavior, another screw down, anonymous brutality. The freedom to break the bonds of common acceptability and go outright for abusive chanting, breaking, pillaging, gang raping and lynching. And in those moments the congealed, congested energy rips out and tears the veneer of our skins and makes us way worse than abnormal, non-conforming, animalistic, weird, different or individual. Way worse than animals. It creates what used to be called demons. The flock becoming a roaring hell beast, ripping up the world in a frenzy of destruction to avenge themselves for the stigmatizing branding irons of normality, and the stricter the system, the worse its aberrations. My normal is different from your normal, and that is normal. Thank you.
Yay.
This next piece is from my third book, Tugboat. All my books are online, available through the Rocknrollsailor.com website, on ebook and in printed version. It's printed on demand, so. The next piece is called Gender Neutrality. Gender neutrality.
Alfred, can you check the camera, see if it's still running?
Thanks. Gender neutrality. Whoever came up with a word like fucking gender neutrality. For fuck love's sake, you want to speak of sexual existence, equality, life-defining natural preference of sexual components to your relations with other humans, and it's defined, defied, befouled, and obstinately negated by the term itself? Gender creepy neutrality? Not even androgenity, I mean neutered? It should be full gender awareness, extreme sexual respect, worship of the lustful love that the urge to live expresses itself through in our physical beings and raging hormones. Do we feel the need for procreation of the zillions of bacteria and frickin' freaky parasites that live within us as symbiotically as we make our cell phones, pets, kids, and spouses do? Or is it all our personal sex quest, need for attention, and giving it, pumping it, rolling and rocking it till the break of day, the bed or your back, whichever comes first, as long as we come together? Gender neutrality sounds like eunuchs galore, a booze up at the AA, getting high in the basement. Not let love have as many faces as it does, so long no innocent parties are harmed and the neighbors can get either some sleep or inspiration while you're doing it. Fine, fuck, enjoy it, and please do it with somebody that you can huddle, cuddle, and squeeze up with before, during, and especially afterwards. It's just good for you both. Or how many? Whatever. I once met a lady happily coexisting with a Shih Tzu for foreplay and a shepherd dog for the ride after. And then the Shih Tzu came up and licked up the mess, and they were a happy threesome. Not my advice, just one of many, many observations. I can still hear her laughing, saying how they hated cats, but they love pussy. And closing off is a piece from book number 4. It's called The Lab Rat Observer. See, I lived my life as an experiment of life, because when I was a kid, I had like a lot of visionary stuff and stuff. You know, people call it hallucination and disease these days. It's only a disease if you don't know how to handle it and accept it and learn to deal with it, right? But that did send me off on a track going like, looking for a deeper value in life, you know, because a 9 to 5 while you're hallucinating your head off, it just doesn't cut it, right? So a lot of my books are about mind space and what it's like being an alien from mind space in the world that we live in. I love writing in bars, good bars, rock, kick and roll bars, jazz bars, bars with a pool table, bars with a fireplace, bars with just the perfect amount of lightning and dark, bars with a double blend of chatter and music, bars with people chattering and entertaining melodies, the mix of heavy voices, high voices, low rumbling mumbles, and chirpy chirp giggles, like a symphony, not phony, real life, real time vocal music. Yet nobody's singing, they're all just humming, sorta, talking, chatting, letting it all hang out. A bit of attitude here, a curvy smile there, a bit of makeup on the face or the story, metered doses of drama and interest, quest and buffer, whole little worlds mixed into the bar, the drinks, the cocktails, the cock and cunt tales, the uselessness of drunken confessions that were never meant to be remembered anyways, so we can afterwards be sober about it. Bars. Bars of music and bars of rhyme, bars in the window, bars of time. I like bars to ride in and bars to chew with oats and raisins and cayenne pepper too. Bars to sing, bars to drink in, bars to talk across. Bars to find smiles, bars to lose loss. Lose it in words, then find them mirrored on the typewriter in the morning blue. Thank you. This is Rocknrollsailor.
This one's driving a truck. Are you ready? Well, I was on the freeway the other day, ran out of petrol on the way, saw a truck Driving real fast, so I started hitching for a blast. It was Freight Train Billy, driving like a maniac. It was Freight Train Billy, driving like a maniac. Barely put it into gear and he started to steer. Glad I was talking, glad I wasn't walking. Barely drove like the devil possessed. There was no time to get depressed. Freight Train Billy, driving like a maniac. It was Freight Train Billy, driving like a maniac. Well, hey man, I can see Freight Train Billy. What a 10, what was overalls. Couldn't drive to keep or creep. Drove the freight train to make his keep. I looked a little closer, I could see he was a mental case. All covered in spiders and flies. Red drop tipped off his fire and said, jump in, we're gonna ride till we die. Whoa, Freight Train Billy, drive like a maniac. Freight Train Billy, drive like a maniac. Freight Train Billy, driving like a maniac. Well, his truck was 100 foot long, but I detected something wrong. Oh, covered in dust and road rage. Oh, there was a stowaway. Oh, dropped up in ropes and chains. I asked her a question. Her name was Betty Page. It was Freight Train Billy, driving like a maniac. 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 Maniac!
Now tell me, how can I deny my essence while I quietly observe in silence, balancing inner joy in this world of suffering? That's just the vibration I bring whenever I come in. The tingling you're feeling now is just my prana, full Visasium presence. I'm the owner of my own moments. From past to the future, continuing to present, trying to maintain and keep it pleasant. Gladly and firmly I'm still able to withstand trials and tribulations in my path. My mind's composing all kinds of thoughts and stuff, memories from far and distance channeled in an instant, giving more deeper meaning on my very own existence. As amongst these angels and demons I continue to dance. It seems inside to what? Yo, Rocknrollsailor, make some noise, yo! You see, then they will know when they hear my song. And they will know when they hear this song. And they will know when they hear this song right now. Cause the wicked hearts don't never win no war. Whoa, 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 whoa. Is my sound good? Yeah. Is my microphone on? Yeah. To be lonely, must start see. Don't you cry, must I see? Don't be scared, must I see? Just shine your light on. Now with this verse, let me tell you, there's still more to hear, there's still more to see. I'm just another device, monitoring and directing various frequencies. Soul traveling traveler, cycling a cycle of never ending, descending and ascending. From different star systems and galaxies all over this vast universe, reincarnating continuously. That's right, RUIGOORD, vurige tongen.
Hello and welcome back to Rocknrollsailor Journal. It's a beautiful morning here in RUIGOORD near Amsterdam, as you can see. A clear blue sky, which is like a luxury, a delicatesse here in these parts of the world. And this is what the festival terrain looks like at just past sunrise. So this is what I look like when I've been up since 4 a.m. yesterday. No drugs. They just make it worse, you know. If you need cocaine just to have a good time, then Quit boring yourself. As you can see, just like the monkeys used to do, we still leave our banana peels lying around. It's only this time it's plastic, so maybe it's time we started making plastic out of banana peels, and that way, you know, if we leave them to rot because we're just too natural to remind ourselves that we just made something toxic, that way we won't have a problem. What a freaking beautiful morning. It's just gorgeous. You know, you got the music in the church, you got the birds flying overhead, chirping and chittering. You got a bunch of people sitting over there by the fireplace. Way there, you can see the smoke. And they're basically sitting around like a bunch of cavemen, you know, I mean, partying all night and this and that, and it's like really nice and chill. And the only difference is that they're okay with the fact that they're still cavemen. You know, we all still are. We're hardly waking up, folks. There you got the windmill. And there you got the solar flower already taking up energy. Baby steps into human awakening. It's as simple as that. So let's just yawn, get it over with, and get the show on the road. So yesterday was a bunch of poetry going on here and there and everywhere. I was on the neat and nice small stage next to the neat and nice little gnome house. We'll film that later on. And today we got some more all over the place. I was basically filming myself only yesterday because I want a lot of footage to put out a lot of content to boost the personal brand, as it's called these days. It's kind of fun. And then tonight we got a rough night hosted by Win Harms, which will be an all-female lineup. And I'll be happy to go in and film that. And we're a bit further down, and either the ones that are still up and don't rest till the party's over, which is what I used to do. Or, you know, it's basically what you do when you're running a place like this. So you don't stop till the last bugger is out of the place and the last cigarette butt is picked up, because otherwise you got to do it when you wake up, and you don't want to have to do that on a fucking Monday morning, right? So anyway, the sun is up above the trees, which is great. The winter chill is still leaving the grass. You know, you can almost see it simmer, like the moisture coming out of the grass, like, you know. Which is why I never sit on the grass in spring. I've got this little folding chair with me, which looks like a fucking cunt, but I don't give a shit. Anyway, so what to do when you're at a literary festival? You write, you know. So I'm working on my next book, because book number 4 came out. Yeah, hooray. Yeah. That's a picture, you know. Dawn. Dawn of time, dawn of man. Dawn of digital. And the bitten apple. That doesn't really need any more explanation, does it? The only question there is like, Is this apple of knowledge the one that's going to lead us back to the Garden of Eden? Because that's basically what the whole quest is about, right? I mean, face it. Why go to Mars? I thought there were like trees in the garden. But it's a good idea trying to go there, because at least it makes us realize that for starters, we're already on a spaceship. And right now, I'm kind of like disgusted by the remains of my breakfast, which was like olives and tzatziki and the apple of lust. And that's the remains of my breakfast, and all I can do is like, fuck, you know, this might just end up in the fucking ocean if it's not taken care of properly. Again, you know, and even when taken care of properly, it's just such a fucking waste of produce. I mean, we're smarter than that. That's the whole fucking point, you know. It's not about good or bad or this or that. It's just, you know, you have to like add up all your sides and live it to the best of your, you know, of your abilities. And okay, fine. 50 years ago, that was oil-based plastics. That's 50 fucking years ago, you know. I mean, this has no fucking business in the now anymore. And really, it pisses me off that, you know. Anyway, I'm still writing. Mathematically, if you see the sheer amount of choices one is confronted with each day, how unparalleled can our universe be? Such worlds I see within my mind's eye that I comprehend not that people hold on seemingly to just one frequency. Yet as a content of world, one frequency sublayers in so many, that somehow the parameters of your life don't mean a thing.
Vroeger was het... Kijk, doet hij het? Ja. Sans le sacrifice, vous qui savez peser, juger l'idéal dont un peuple se fait le guise et l'ossial, vous qui ne voulez pas que l'innocence pâtisse, vous devant qui l'orgueil du mal n'est pas permis, lorsque pour nous, ainsi que pour nos amis, nous entendrons sonner l'heure de la justice. Vous qui voyez, Seigneur, leur âme jusqu'au fond, ne leur pardonnez pas, ils savent ce qu'ils font. Ils ont souillé de sang les pages de l'histoire, trahissons le serment, déchirons les traités, ils ont fait reculer d'un bond d'humanité jusqu'au peuple oublié les heures les plus noires. Et lorsque devant eux, dans un suprême effort, un peuple au déshonneur a préféré la mort, ils en font frémir, crucifiés dans sa gloire. Vous qui voyez, Seigneur, leur âme jusqu'au fond, ne leur pardonnez pas, Ils savent.
For illuminated minds. A spirit is not yours to defy. A spirit is not yours to deny. A spirit is not yours to define. You have no power that manipulative material lines can truly ensnare or entwine you in. You have no slavery anywhere authoring your mind, and no material substantial enough to script your imprisonment of forever. The given means are too fragile and too temporary and too weak to sustain the eternal truth of your timelessness. The eternal truth is a holy spirit of light within your whole mind. It denies you this, a separate self and selfish lie of a life. You need an immaterial witness of you, a perfect mirror of truth, incorruptible and incapable of lying, yet not of you, or the mess you have made with all your wasted time, bitterly pissing your freedom away with lies, with self-denial, with time you wasted, endlessly defining your limitations, only replicating limitation, the time you wasted defining your limitations and creating only the lame, ridiculous rationale for your wrong-minded choices, and all is for your own shining, miserable chains of enslavement. But the problem of your making is the answer you're not taking. Too busy faking your reactions to real life, too busy faking it to make it. You must unmake the sad delusion of prison of life that you gift with existence in your mind. You must undo all the prisons of perception, wasting your time endlessly in pettiness, interpretation of creation, in the useless exercise of suffering and sickness, in the unholy temple of self-denial. An immaterial witness, you need this, about fitting this fucking freedom fist all the way up that sweet puckering asshole of a brainwashed fascist fuckwit, too willing to spell out the crime, too petty, too weak to admit the time, too split in the fucking head and heart and mind, too indecisive and made busted, batshit crazy because of the lies, because of the pride, because of your arrogance, because of domination, fueled only by Hollywood bitch crimes, all because of the lies privilege sold you all the time, all because of the lies privilege told you all the time, because of the lies, because of the lies, because of the lies privilege always molds you in all the time, and because of the inequality you dream of and desire that teaches you only your inequality. You don't want privilege. You do need an immaterial witless. You witless bitch. Always immaterial, fired up nightmares, dementia, phobia, and neurosis all dressed up as real life, just like this one. And monstrous material witness are all fake, freaked out, senseless control freaks and streak, two-faced liars. Are you a material girl? Are you?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a capoeira teacher. I got this side like this. Yeah.